Hi guys, if you guys like to see these pregnancy videos for new moms like me, then you can keep watching and subscribe and like the video so I can know to make more videos like this, because I'm really new to YouTube. So this video is going to basically be about my first trimester. So as you can see, I'm pretty far along now in my pregnancy. I'm actually 33 weeks. So I am, show you guys, this big. And it probably looks big on camera, but I'm actually not that big in person. So, however, my first trimester was the worst trimester. Yo, thumbs up to any woman who could just have babies over and over again, because the first trimester really makes you like hate it. And I'm being 100% honest. I hated being pregnant during my first trimester. Trimester is horrible, at least for me. I hated it, and I will say I'm really dramatic, but also I've seen a lot of YouTube videos where a lot of girls say the same thing. So just take my advice. Not everybody is like, experience things the same, but more times than not, your first trimester is not going to be the best. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one reason, morning sickness. Bro, that is the number one worst thing about the first trimester. For me, I never threw up. So a lot of people be like, well, that's good. You didn't really have morning sickness. But no, I was nauseous from when I woke up to when I went to sleep at night. So if you can imagine just being nauseous all day, and maybe sometimes when you throw up, it feels better. Like, okay, I threw up, now I feel a little bit better. Even just for a little while. Not once did I get any relief from being nauseous. Started from, I want to say like my 6th week to I was 3 months pregnant. And when I say nauseous, it basically means anything. It's not just you feel nauseous. You smell something. I worked in the city by a lot of food. I walk by on my way to work in the morning and just smell all this food, and I would just be like, ugh, like I would be ready to just pass out. It took everything in me to get up and go to work every day, but I still had to do it. I pushed through it, but oh my God. And then when it came to lunchtime and everybody's ordering food and Chinese food and pizza, it makes you ready to throw up all day. But like I said, with me, I never threw up. So I was just sitting there like that is the worst part of being pregnant, is the nauseousness. So I could not really eat anything because of the nausea. So like if everything smells bad to you when you're ready to eat, clearly you're not going to be able to eat. So nothing sounded good, looked good. I could not really eat anything, and that's okay, because I know in the first trimester all the doctors will tell you it's perfectly normal to not be eating full meals, because the baby, whatever it needs, is going to take from you anyway, and it's so early in your pregnancy that they're not really eating what you eat anyway. So it's perfectly normal to go the first trimester or a little bit more without having like full meals. And I was even too sick to take my prenatal. So, and that was normal too. My doctor said that was okay for the first trimester. So you don't have to feel guilty if you cannot eat. You're gonna be so worried about like the fact that you're sick all day, then that anyway. Not to sound crazy, not to sound like you don't care about the baby, but that's basically what it's like. So what I did was I tried everything: ice pops, ginger ale, crackers, bread, Gatorade. None of it worked. None of it worked. So I'm being 100% honest. This is from my point of view. None of that worked for me. So my doctor actually ended up prescribing me something towards the end of my first trimester, and it's called onestrone. It's basically for morning sickness, and they actually give it to people who have chemotherapy. That makes them really nauseous, so it's supposed to help with that. Another thing with the first trimester is you have to deal with your really, really bad mood swings. The mood swings are crazy. Like, my boyfriend hated me he hated me and I hated him. So that's another thing. I hated my boyfriend in the first trimester. I don't know why. We just fought so much. I don't know, like something in my head, like I just could not control it. Like I hated him, and he did nothing wrong. Like he really used to try to help me. Like, but it's just, I don't know. It wasn't me. I blame it on the baby and the headaches. So I was getting really, really bad migraines the whole time of my first trimester, and that was hard. On top of the fact that I was nauseous, on top of the fact that I was moody. So me getting a migraine made it even worse. Like I was even more moody. You know, when you're pregnant, they don't prescribe you anything, and I'm a pill popper. I will say that. Like in real life, when I'm not pregnant and I have my period, I have cramps. Ibuprofen, 800 milligrams, Aleve liquid, Advil liquid, regular. I don't care. I will take all the medicine that is, you know, on the bottle that you can take. I will take that. And Tylenol has never been one of the medicines that I take. I've always felt like that's for babies. When you're pregnant, Tylenol is all that they will offer you. Like, they'll be like, you can take Tylenol. You can have, Tylenol, you could take that. And I'm like, since when does Tylenol help with pain? I always thought that was for fevers. Like, I cannot do baby medicine. I need the real deal. But when you're in your first trimester, when you're pregnant, period, no type of ibuprofen, none of that is allowed. So you just have to go with it, and you just have to basically go with everything in the first trimester. There's really nothing you can do. So and I also had a lot of mucus in my throat. I still do now, actually. If you can hear me, my voice sounds disgusting. Like, it doesn't sound like this when I'm like normally. But my whole pregnancy, my nose has been stuffy. So that's another thing you have to, that pops up in the first trimester. Like I would say halfway through, your nose is like really, it feels like you have a cold. And it also sounds like it, all the phlegm and stuff in your throat, which is nasty. But like I said, you know, this video, I'm gonna just be real, like that's just what happens. So also with that, they don't want you to take anything. You still have to just do like salt water, gargling, and all basically natural stuff, which is annoying because I'm a pill popper. I really wanted to film this video during my first trimester just to give people some hope and some tips, but I was so sick, y'all. I couldn't even think about a camera. I've been wanting to do videos like this, but it's like every part of my pregnancy there was something going on, so I never really had time to do how I wanted to do it. And if I was gonna film a video, I wanted to make sure it was right. Oh, he's moving right now. Oh, my baby. Okay, but anyways, that was basically my first trimester. It was hard, so. But my advice to anyone in their first time moms, first trimester, and you're dealing with nauseousness, morning sickness, and all of that, my best advice is to just have the mindset that you're gonna get through it. It doesn't last. For most pregnant women, it doesn't last. Some pregnant women are unlucky and the morning sickness doesn't go away. But I will say for maybe 80% of women, it goes away in your third month. So try to stick with it, try to hang in there. It's so hard. Like, imagine me in my first trimester trying to tell somebody this, because that's why I couldn't make this video, because it would not be encouraging at all. It would be actually the worst video, because I would be like, no, don't do it, I'm dying. Like, no one would want to take no advice from me. But right now, from where I'm sitting, you can get through it. And someone as dramatic as me, if I did it, you can do it. And it's all going to be worth it, because once you get to a little later, like you start to experience things and you're really, really happy that you're able to feel like a life inside of you. And in the first trimester, it's kind of hard to see that tunnel vision like ahead because you're not there yet, so you don't know. But it's definitely worth it. Like, it's an amazing feeling. So that was my first trimester, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, I'm going to keep making videos about each of my trimesters, just to give you guys my point of view on how being a first-time pregnant person is, just so, you know, if somebody needs it, needs to watch it, needs some advice. I'm going to add a link down below for some of the things I tried for my morning sickness. Like I said, they didn't work for me, but they could work for you. So like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back.